Wednesday, December 28th. Good evening. Ah, Jill, I'm out to get firecrackers. Firecrackers? It's New Year's, right? We need some. Wouldn't firecrackers scare off the Yeah, good idea. Go ahead. I'll be back in a bit. Even for a cat lover, you sure get excited about firecrackers a whole lot more when dogs are involved. I know how hypocritical it sounds, and I don't care. Ah, Jamie's here. Greetings. Anyway, let's start. Time to mix drinks and change lives. Ah, the guy that wouldn't come back twice. Yeah, shut up. By any chance, did something fly over here 2 weeks ago? On Friday? Yes. There were lots of weird explosion noises throughout the night. But as far as I understand, those were made by a flying drone or something like that. So it flew by here. I take it you know what made the noise? Let's just keep it at whatever drone story you heard. Right. The noise got annoying after a while, I must say. So it remained in the vicinity? I don't know what counts as in the vicinity, but yeah. Distant explosions all night. Interesting. So it didn't get far away. Now get me a Mars blast. A Mars blast for the guy that wouldn't come back twice. Here you go. Well, you didn't mess up. Sorry, if I may interject. You looking for a fight? Most certainly not. You really think you'd stand a chance? You're like half his size. I can fight dirty. He kills people for a living. I can fight dirty. Jill, please, you make me sound like a savage. It would be like me saying that you get people drunk for a living. I mean, it's not wrong, but there are better ways of saying stuff like that. You're right, sorry. And like I said, I'm not looking for a fight. I just noticed you seem to like strong drinks. What about it? Well, to be honest, it's a rare sight in this bar. I'd even come to believe I'm the only one here who enjoys them, aside from the owner. May I suggest you try a suplex next time? It might be to your liking. Okay, let's try this suplex thing. Right. Let's give Ingram a suplex. Wow, that sounded weird. Here. Good stuff. Like a less burning, but punchier pile driver. Say, your face looks somehow familiar, Mr. Call me Jamie. And you are... I'm Ingram. Anyway, I think I saw your face somewhere. Maybe when I needed to look for a specific file at... Did you perhaps go through a nanomachine expunge? I did, actually. Figured as much. Only a handful of people do that. And most all of them are people with nanomachine rejection that feel oddly suicidal. So why go through the whole thing? Rejection? Need to hide something? The second one. It's easier to remain undetected when they have no means to track you or your activity. I see. How does the expunge work? You lie in a pressure chamber and they give you special IV solution. It causes nanomachine rejection while giving you the antibodies needed to prevent them from getting back in. For 5 hours, you're trapped in bed while a horrible pressure builds up in your body and nanomachines are forced out. They're like little needles all over your body. You feel them in your eyes, in your gums, in your toes, everywhere. And after all that, they need to implant you with a mechanism that constantly releases the same antibodies. Ouch. What are you having, Jamie? This is a gut punch. Yeah, should have figured. Hey, give me one of those. Sure. Let's give him a gut punch. Again. That didn't sound right. Here. Yeah, I love these. It looks different from yours, though. I add a couple of extras in his, actually. So where's the antibody unit they stuck with you, Jamie? Inside, like all other maintenance systems. It can be troublesome at times, but the perks of not having nanomachines in the body outweigh the cons. In the rest of the enhancements, were you constructed or have you been adding them over time? Over time, either by getting a much needed enhancement or through fixing injuries. I see. Well, it was a pleasure, Jamie, but I gotta leave. Nice meeting you, Ingram. Please come again. Don't count on it. Every time. You said that twice. Shut up. Seemed like a nice guy. Right. I won't call him a bastard, but he's not the nicest in the bunch. Maybe you caught him on a bad day? Nah, I think you're just good at bringing out the nicer side of people. Oddly enough. That guy tires the hell out of me. Someone's in a good mood. Give me a bad touch, will you? That way you'll be in a good mood too. Bad touch for Alma. Here. Jill, you have a petty sense of humor. Guilty as charged. So, what put you in a good mood? Oh yeah, that. Today, my sister was supposed to be in court for all the custody proceedings. Of course, not only does she show up later than her husband, and drunk at that, but also dressed like she got fucked in the back of a parking lot. And to top it off, she forgot to even bring her kids. Luckily, my parents brought them to court. The judge assigned the kids to my parents for the time being. So she really messed it up, huh? When they came back to the house and Diana started throwing a temper tantrum, she said it was lucky her husband didn't get the kids because the angst would make her jump onto the highway. Oof. So Eva comes in and says, then make sure it kills you because we aren't dealing with you as a cripple. Oof. I shouldn't reinforce that behavior, but I don't know, maybe it was the timing, but I've been laughing for an hour now. You hold quite the animosity for Diana, don't you? She and I used to be the closest friends when I was 7 or 8. We played all the time, we even slept on the same bed for a while. Then she turned into a teen. We stopped playing, she had other things she wanted to do. I could forgive all that, I mean the age difference and all. But there is something in particular I still can't forgive. It was a day she invited her friends to the house, and I went to ask her something. As I was leaving, one of her friends asked if I was her sister, and she said she had no little sisters. Ouch. I think that was the moment that finally broke the pedestal I held her on. I admired her as much as a kid could admire someone, you know? Little by little, that admiration wore off, until we finally reached that breaking point. I felt betrayed. And you haven't been able to forgive her after 40 years? Hey, it's not that I still hold a grudge against her, but rather, the Diana who said all those things so many years ago is the same Diana that I know today. How so? She hasn't matured one bit. She's still as selfish, childish, and immature as she was back then. When you see her, you don't see an adult. You see an overgrown, horny teen. Wow, that explains my bio to a fucking T. So aside from destroying any admiration I held from her, she's made sure not to fix that impression. Huh. But enough about me. How are you? Everything's fine, aside from this note. A note? Remember how I told you I lashed out at a dead ex's sister? Yeah. I got this note from her. Let's see. Wow, she must really feel bad about the whole thing. As do I. So, what's the problem then? The same fear that drove me away from her in the first place. Right. Give me a Brantini, will you? There's a little story I want to tell you. Right. A Brantini. Alright. Next. Here. This is the thing. Let's start. Boo. Uh-oh. Oh, hell no. This is the story of a girl who grew disillusioned with one of her sisters. Soon it became an animosity, and not long after that she distracted herself completely from said sister. With time, the girl would become attached to her eldest sister, looking up to her achievements. All I can look at right now are those boobs. Not now. Said sister would even marry the girl's best friend not soon after. And after the girl went into college, said sister would quit her job. The sister was worried sick about leaving her baby kid alone, prompting her to quit her high-ranking job. What if I hire your high-ranking lips? Shut up. The girl, even as an adult, felt betrayed. Her role model sister went against everything she held her in high esteem for. She was no longer a child, and yet she felt like a part of her had crumbled. Hey Joe, I can lift her sweater. Do you want to see? I bet you want to see. Alright, enough. Enough? Shit. Peace out. I know the girl is you and the sister is your eldest sister. Please get to the point. Right. The point is, if you don't face her, she will be heavily disappointed. She's trying to make amends with you. That must take courage. Lots of it. Yeah, you're right. My mouth's dry. Can I get a beer? Right. Beer. Man, I am going crazy, aren't I? Here. Thanks. So, tell me, did you and this Gabby girl get along? Oh, yeah. I never had brothers and sisters, but once Lenore introduced me to her as her sister-in-law, she got so excited about having a new sister that she clung to me a lot. I helped her in her studies, read books with her, played with her a lot. She was pretty much my sister too. I have to leave, but I'll tell you this. As both a big and little sister, if you don't grant that girl the chance of talking to you, I'll never forgive you. Yeah. Oh, there's a small New Year's party this Saturday if you're interested. Oh, sure, I'll be here. Remember, I won't forgive you. Yeah. I'll go take my break. Alright. Wah! You were here? You were quite absorbed in the conversation just now. Jamie even said goodbye to you. Didn't you hear? Anyways, call me if anything comes up. With time, the girl grew. I'll never forgive you. I'll never. God damn it! How? Today, my sister was supposed to be in court for all the cousins. Ah, Jill, I'm out. I'm out to get fire. Really? I admired her as a kid